Members of the Baseball Writers Association are filling out their 2017 Hall of Fame ballots, deciding on who will join baseball's Club of Immortals. Among the potential players that could garner the necessary 75% of the votes to be selected include ballot holdovers Mike Mussina, Edgar Martinez, and Tim Raines, as well as iconic players and suspected performance-enhancing drug users Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. Newcomers to the ballot include Vladimir Guerrero and Ivan Pudge Rodriguez, who hope to make it on their first year of eligibility. But one player who isn't even on the ballot received one vote, kind of. The all-time hit king, Pete Charlie Hustle Rose, is the recipient of one theoretical vote. Jack McCaffrey of the Delaware County Daily Times tweeted a picture of his Hall of Fame ballot. On it, McCaffrey voted for 9 players whose names are on the ballot and wrote in Rose's name.
This video was produced in November of 2016.
Rose does have the support of the future leader of the free world, President-elect Donald Trump. Trump has tweeted on numerous occasions over the course of several years, calling for Major League Baseball to lift its lifetime ban and for the Hall of Fame to induct Rose into its hallowed halls. 2 days before the Ohio primary in March, Trump tweeted a picture of an autographed baseball that appears to have been signed by Rose. The former Cincinnati Reds great remains a fan favorite throughout the state of Ohio. On the autographed ball, Rose allegedly wrote, "Please make America great again." But apparently it wasn't an endorsement from the Hit King. Rose's attorney says the ball didn't come from Rose at all, saying in part, quote, "We do not know how Mr. Trump got the ball."
And as promised, Donald Trump, because Pete Rose made a mention of supporting him, returned the favor. Pete Rose is set to be pardoned by Donald Trump, and another mixture in the infusion of politics and sports. Allow me to explain. Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStromShow. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you. All right, so this story is about posturing, and it is about a politician using his power to simply say that he has this guy's back on a very controversial issue. So, on his platform of Truth Social, does Devin Nunes still run that piece of shit? Major League Baseball didn't have the courage or decency, he wrote, to put the late, great Pete Rose, also known as Charlie Hustle, into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now he is dead. Will never experience the thrill of being selected, even though he was a, all caps, far better player than most of those who made it and can only be named posthumously. What a shame. Anyway, over the next few weeks, I will be signing a complete pardon, all caps, of Pete Rose, who shouldn't have been gambling on baseball, but I mean, that is a humongous but. That could have been in all caps. Only bet on his team winning. He'd never betted against himself, or the other team. He had the most hits by far in baseball history and won more games than anyone in sports history. Baseball, which is dying all over the place, should get off its fat, lazy blank and elect Pete Rose, even though it is far too late, into the Baseball Hall of Fame. So this must be stated, word salad aside. It's unclear what Trump will pardon Pete Rose for, a 3-time World Series champ. He didn't mention the case in which Rose pled guilty to tax evasion and served 5 months in federal prison. So what are you pardoning him for?
A woke female journalist just couldn't help herself and felt the need to harass 81-year-old Pete Rose during a celebration of the 1980 World Series. But what I will do is call out this bitter, clout-chasing, and fun-sucking sports journalist for biting at the low-hanging fruit and harassing an 81-year-old man on a day meant to celebrate baseball. For the love of God, can these liberals just leave sports alone for one freaking day, one freaking game, one freaking anything? Has the man not been through enough public shaming at this point? And on a day that was supposed to be a celebration, a commemoration of baseball, athleticism, and victory, this nasty woman had to turn it political.
What shouldn't be surprising is how MAGA has bent over backwards to defend this guy. Because just like this,
President Trump, Andrew and Tristan Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them, and if so, why?
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
I do. Look, obviously this involves, there's an English element here, so obviously it's important that justice is done, and human trafficking is obviously, to my mind, a security risk, and so I will catch up with the story in due course.
You're aware? Are you aware? I didn't know anything about it.
We have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening. Okay, guys, thanks so much. God bless everybody.
Andrew Tate has long been a controversial figure, and not for the obvious reasons, or not just for the obvious reasons. Those obvious reasons, just to refresh your memory, include his self-identification as a misogynist, and he and his brother were charged with human trafficking and sexual intercourse with a minor in Romania. They were stuck in Romania for a while under a travel ban while they were being investigated, but that ban has recently been lifted. The Tate's lawyer, Joseph McBride, didn't directly comment on why the ban was lifted or why it was lifted now, and McBride told NBC News Thursday that he would not comment on whether or not the U.S. State Department or the White House had any hand in it.
When folks are accused of heinous crimes, for some reason, the Trump admin cozies up to them. You know, as we covered in August of 2022. Previously, the organization was planning to induct Rose into the Phillies Wall of Fame, but was called off because of accusations against him. Prior to the game, Philadelphia Inquirer writer Alex Coffey asked Rose about the 2017 essay allegations and whether his presence at the ballpark sent a negative message to women. His response, "No, I'm not here to talk about that. Sorry about that. It was 55 years ago, babe." Rose would add, "I'm here for the Philly fans. I'm here for my teammates. I'm here for the Phillies organization. And who cares what happened 50 years ago? You weren't even born. So you shouldn't be talking about it because you weren't born. If you don't know a damn thing about it, don't talk about it." In testimony in federal court in 2017, a woman alleged she had a sexual relationship with Rose that began when she was below the age of consent. The woman, identified as Jane Doe, said in a sworn statement in court filings that the relationship started in 1973 and continued for a few years. Sometime after that, Pete Rose and I began meeting at a house in Cincinnati, the woman said. It was at that house where, before my 16th birthday, Pete Rose began a sexual relationship with me. This sexual relationship lasted for several years. Pete Rose also met me in locations outside of Ohio where we had sex. In court filings, Rose admitted having sex with the woman, but said he believed she was 16, the age of consent in Ohio, and that their relationship began sometime in 1975 when he was 34. The statute of limitations had expired, so he could not be charged with statutory R-word. The testimony emerged during Rose's 2017 defamation lawsuit against attorney John Dode, who led the MLB investigation that resulted in Rose's lifetime ban for gambling on the Cincinnati Reds as a player and manager. The lawsuit was filed after a 2015 radio interview in which Dowd said Rose had committed statutory R-word by routinely having sex with underage girls. Rose denied the accusation. Kofi said that Rose, or one of his representatives, later went into damage control mode as Charlie Hustle offered to sign 1,000 baseballs for her if she was offended by what he'd said. He continues to be banned from baseball for betting on Reds games while he was a player manager for the team. He has been declared ineligible for election to baseball's Hall of Fame. It goes without saying this next piece of information is downright offensive and shows the state we are in via Don Van Natta of ESPN. The Commissioner of Baseball, Rob Manfred, is considering a petition that was filed on January 8th by Pete Rose's family to have the all-time hit leader posthumously removed from baseball's ineligible list. He'd add, MLB sources acknowledged the commissioner met with Fawn Rose and he's reviewing the petition to reinstate Pete Rose. In December 2015, he rejected Rose's reinstatement petition, after meeting with the man himself. Now, a name that I didn't mention there that I want to is Jeffrey Lenkov. That is Pete Rose's lawyer, and he jumped on the Trump bandwagon after the Truth Social post. When he gets passionate about an issue, POTUS stands behind it, Lenkov said of Trump. He was passionate about Pete. Pete would have appreciated the president's commitment to him. Just two very quick things. I understand that he is a lawyer who has to do the best for his client, even in the afterlife. So the way that he is framing this, it's dirty, but I get it. The second part is Rob Manfred has proven to be one of the worst commissioners in sports, and there's tons of different reasons why. But the fact that the president, it seems, is now pressuring Major League Baseball to reconsider its stance shows how dark of times we are in. And all of the business leaders, the crypto bros, etc., who lined up with him, Zuck, many others, proves that what they want to do is protect themselves. And they will stand up for nothing, as long as it enriches themselves. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.